Hare Krishna devotees who can now recite our Mangala Charan. Harini Mataji, you want to try?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandar Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnana Jana Salakaya Taksur Unmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Krishna Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vichamcha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपीसा गोपिका कंठ राधा कंठ नमस्तुते तप्त कंचना गौरंगी राधा वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचकल्पा तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण प्रभु जी बैक टू प्रभु
Very nice, Mataji. Very good chanting. Thank you. So, devotees, we are in chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute, which is Krishna. We are so fortunate that we are able to hear Krishna's glories, different qualities, these different energies from Krishna himself. That's a very rare, only devotees can understand that. So Krishna has said almost everything that there is no end to Krishna's explanation. Krishna has already said that he is only going to share the main significant qualities of it, because otherwise he can keep on talking for ages and yugas. It's still not be finished. So we see that even on a practical, logical viewpoint, there is a supreme creator. Nobody can deny that. Look at the sun. Every morning it shows up. Not one day, 2 day, billions of years. Even for modern scientific research, they say that these planets have been there billions of years. At least the planet Earth is there for 4 billion years, right? Which almost like coincidence with one day of Brahma. So he is the sun. Who makes it work? It is said that sun, if it had been little closer to Earth, we would have been completely burned by this time. If the sun does not appear for 7 days, devotees, it is said that the planet Earth, this planet, would become 0 degrees. And if the sun does not appear for about 3 weeks, will be all completely frozen. The entire planet will be frozen. There will be no living entity at all. One time I remember I was visiting Chicago. It's a very cold place in winter. It was sometime in January, first weeks or so. The entire Lake Michigan was completely frozen. You cannot see water. It's just ice. So that is just a momentary thing. But what happens? Sun is so powerful. Same thing with moon. If moon is not there, there won't be any vegetation at all. There is no question of survival. So who did all this thing? Oxygen, water. And if somebody is going to say this all just happened by itself, it's a reaction of chemicals, devotees, that is too much to believe. You should have too much faith in nothing to believe that so many things happen. At least I'm not ready to accept that at all. Definitely there is a supreme creator. Now, is this material world perfect? No, it is not meant to be perfect. That's why Krishna has already said, Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. This is not perfect, but livable. Like a prison. Prison in a state or in a country, there are prisons. Prison is not the country, but it's just a part of the country. So this is not Krishna, but it is also one of his lower energy. But we have to survive. But there is one good chance, like in a prison also, you can conduct yourself in a nice way and come out of the prison. Then you join the other, the free community outside. That is our main job. Right now we are in prison, but is there an opportunity for me to come outside? Definitely there is an opportunity. That is this entire purpose of Krishna consciousness, knowing about the supreme. Or we can be just ignorant also. I'm in a prison, I don't know, I'll just keep on doing it. That's also quite okay. What will happen? After we leave our body, we'll be taken to another prison. Maybe we'll take a rebirth in Tampa, Florida, or some other country we don't know, or maybe human form, not human form. We have no control at all, right? But what we have control, devotees, right now, from this moment, can we surrender to Krishna? Can we seek his lotus feet? So that is what is Krishna saying, So why not we read this one more verse, and then devotees, it is recommended that during this Kartika Masa, that devotees should read at least 2 verses from Bhagavatam. So if it is all okay, why not we just read 2 verses during our Bhagavad Gita class also? It won't take much time, maybe 5 minutes. We don't have to go through all the purport and everything. We can start from Canto 10. Then just read the Sanskrit verse translation, 2 verses each day. I think it will give us, everybody, an opportunity to at least have read Shravanam, at least be here. So with that, devotees, why not someone read the text, chapter 10, 34.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, then I can try, Prabhuji.
Please.
Hare Krishna, devotees, then the pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Mrityu sarva haraschaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kriti srirvakcha narinam smritir meda dhritakshama. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very good, Prabhu. Devotees, 2 more, shall we?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Please.
Mrityu sarva haraschaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kriti srirvakcha narinam smritir medha dhriti shama. Hare Krishna.
Very good, Prabhu. Mahesh Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah, I can try. Mrityu sarva harshama udbhava saha cha bhavishyatam kirti sri vakya narina smriti medha dhruti kshama. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very good. Prabhu, very good. Are you reading from the Sanskrit verse above or from the English, Prabhu?
I for this one I tried a little bit English also. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Okay, devotees, this is not a very long purport. Maybe 2 devotees can read 2 paragraphs, but before that, 1 devotee can read the synonym and translation. Prabhu, maybe?
Yeah, I can read that. Thank you. Mrityu, death, sarva hara, all devouring. Cha, also, aham, I am. Udbhava, generation. Cha, also. Bhavishyatam, of future manifestations. Kirtihi, fame. Sri, opulence or beauty. Vak, fine speech. Cha, also. Narinam, of woman. Smritihi, memory. Meda, intelligence. Dhriti, firmness. Shama, patience. Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principles of all that is yet to be. Among women, I have fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience.
Haribol Prabhu, thanks for the reading. Devotees, how about one of us can read the first paragraph? Not very long. We can have a good discussion. Who can read? I see Dara Mataji is here at the right moment. Okay, maybe she's busy. Why not I read, if that's okay?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Danvat Pranam to all devotees. Sorry, I was driving.
Oh, okay, okay.
I can read though the first paragraph.
No, please. If I may request, please concentrate on the driving. Believe me, it's not recommended at all. You can. Sorry.
Okay, Prabhuji. I pulled into a parking lot. If you want, I can read it or yeah. Sorry, I just.
My Guru Maharaj has written a book called Driving for Krishna. It's a very small kind of a handbook, small one. I'll try to share time. And there he mentions a lot of things that a devotee should do. What all can he do? What should be his mood while driving? Because devotee's life, like any other life, is very important because we have a lot of things to serve to Krishna. So got to be very careful. My request will be, it's okay. You can, when you reach home, you can, or is it a long drive?
Yeah, Prabhuji, that's why it's a 20-30 minute drive. So I can read this purport and then I can get back on the road. Yeah. If you would like me to read, then I can go ahead and read.
Yes, you may, but please be very cautious or just park if you can somewhere. That is also.
I'm parked, Prabhuji.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As soon as a man is born, he dies at every moment. Thus, death is devouring every living entity at every moment. But the last stroke is called death itself. That death is Krishna. As for future development, all living entities undergo 6 basic changes. They are born, they grow, they remain for some time, they reproduce, they dwindle, and finally they vanish. Of these changes, the first is deliverance from the womb, and that is Krishna. The first generation is the beginning of all future activities. The 7 opulences listed, fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience, are considered feminine. If a person possesses all of them or some of them, he becomes glorious. If a man is famous as a righteous man, that makes him glorious. Sanskrit is a perfect language and is therefore very glorious. If after studying one can remember a subject matter, he is gifted with a good memory or smriti, and the ability not only to read many books on different subject matters, but to understand them and apply them when necessary is intelligence, meda, another opulence. The ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness or steadfastness, triti. And when one is fully qualified, yet is humble and gentle, and one is able to keep his balance both in sorrow and in the ecstasy of joy, he has the opulence called patience, Shama. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Any more thoughts, devotees, on this? Krishna is talking about a few of the qualities which we also realize death is certain. We all know. We have not experienced, obviously, but it is the most certain thing that is about to happen. So, any thoughts, devotees? Realization, comment?
Krishna Prabhuji, Dhamma Pranam. Prabhuji, my question actually, why these 7 opulences are called feminine?
Yeah, good question. Well, if you look at even historically, in the modern history, you take literature, you take a country, you call it as a mother tongue, right? Because the women are they possess many of the greater qualities. Not that men do not possess; they do, but they do not explicitly. They cannot reveal that. They're in that way. Men are limited. They are not multitasking. Women, they can really, display many of the qualities, and Krishna is saying here that it comes from only a woman, those kind of a qualities, more predominant in a woman. Like, for example, even Bhavishyam, right? Fame. Fame is normally given to Krishna, is very famous, but Krishna himself surrenders to Srimati Radharani. So now the question is, who is more famous? Right? I think Srimati Radharani should be more famous, because the most famous person is kind of surrendering to another person. That means that person should be more popular or more famous. There was a time on a Radhashtami day, Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture. And it was like about 60 minutes lecture. Out of that, 58 minutes, he spoke about Krishna. And all the devotees were a little bit kind of perplexed. What is going on? Just now we had Janmashtami, but today is Radhashtami. Why Srila Prabhupada is talking about Krishna? And in the last 2 minutes, he said that this Krishna is completely surrendered to Radharani. So whatever glories he did about Krishna, it all been given to Srimati Radharani. So which we see it in our practical life also, Prabhuji's. Women are more multi-talented, especially women who come from the Indian subcontinent. They do so many things. We see it in our front of our eyes. A child on the shoulder, maybe a child on the stomach, a child she's holding, and she's taking care of so many things in a day. Real, true multitasking. Men are not multitasking at all. They'll be sitting in front of the computer. If you disturb them a little bit, they'll get agitated. What is this? Can't you see I'm working? But not a woman. And when a woman, in those days at least, our parents and the previous generation, when a woman goes to a new family after getting married, it is just not one-to-one relationship like it happens here. She has to embrace the entire family members. 10, 15, 20, we don't know, extended family. She has to completely embrace them. And guess what? She has to earn a good name. And most times they do. In India, girls are considered as Lakshmi. They are considered as fortune based on the Shastras only. They would say that, yeah, I'm sending my Lakshmi to your house. I'm sending my fortune to your house. And even the groom's family, they would say, now Lakshmi has come, this house is full, complete now. Because truly they have many, many good qualities. They are strong, they are firm. They are, of course, Krishna is a very, very pleasant talker. It is said that when Krishna used to talk to the gopis, he was very, very, he's a master of, he's a great orator. And he can speak very well. Obviously, he gave us the Bhagavad Gita. But Srimati Radharani was also very, very intelligent. Very intelligent. As intelligent as Krishna. So I think women, no doubt, they possess a lot of good qualities, Prabhu. And if the woman is not maintained and respected properly, that society will not be very successful, Prabhu. This we can see, even today's modern world we can see. But at the same time, women are very tender, very valuable. That is why they have to be protected. That is why Shastra says women should not be left alone, not to control them. For example, if you have a very precious stone, diamond or emerald or anything like that, you're not going to throw that in the street. Men are like that. Meaning they can survive, no problem. But women are very, very precious. They need protection. So they need either the protection of the parents, or they need protection from the husband, or they need protection from the children later on. But they need protection. Again, this should not be here right now. What we are looking at is that everybody is screaming for freedom, 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 equality. Look at our Shastras. How much glorify we do to Srimati Radharani. How much glorify we do to Mother Sita. How much glorify. Krishna is known as Yashoda Nandana. Right? His salutation is Yashoda. Devaki Nandana. We first glorify Devaki. We first glorify Yashoda. Radha Krishna. First glorify. So this kind of glorifying the women is only in the Vedic culture. It's nowhere in no other spiritually, philosophically, culturally, you will not find any other culture like this. Very, very deep, very advanced. This is equality. Right? We can just, society, we can call it civil liberty and equality and women's freedom and so on. What the civilized countries did, devotees, all the liberty they gave was that several decades ago, they brought a cigarette in the name of freedom and they gave it to women. They said that now you start smoking, then you will be equal to men. That's not true at all. I had a client in Kansas Devotees. It was a non-profit, and they had a shelter for abused, battered women. How many women are abused in this country where the civil liberty and women's liberation is spoken about? It is said that almost 3/4 of the entire women population is abused in one way or the other, either physically or mentally, financially, in this country. So we have to understand that now, does some abuse happens in India? Yeah, it might happen because this is Kali Yuga. There is always some kind of an abuse, But when we go through all the Shastras, all the women, look at all the Devas and Devatas, we all worship them. They are given a very, very high pedestal, treated more than men. Sita Ram. Sita Ram is the salutation for Lord Ramachandra. Without Sita, Ram is not complete. Radha Bina Sham Ada. Have you heard this, devotees? Without Radha, even Shama is not full, is half. So all the glories, all the opulence first goes to the, our mother tongue, motherland. It's not fatherland. So I think that is just my little bit of understanding, Prabhu.
Very nice, very deep, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So devotees, any more thought? What is going on here? What is Krishna saying? All this opulence as devotees is Krishna doesn't get elevated because of this opulences. The opulences get significant. Normally what happens, let's say somebody has got a Rolex, very special designer's collection, only 11 watches have been made. They won't make any more watch. Each one costs like $10 million. When somebody wears, some Indian sportsman is wearing, it enhances him. Wow, he's wearing a $10 million watch. With Krishna, any ornament you give, Krishna's opulence is always there, but the value of the ornament increases. The ornament gets elevated, not Krishna. That is the beauty of Krishna, That is the beauty of Krishna versus normal human being. We may drive a very expensive car, but for Krishna, even if it touches anything, that becomes elevated. This entire manifestation is through only a glance of Krishna. So how powerful is Krishna? So it is said that devotees, chapter 10 and 11 is not so much to convince the devotees. Devotees need not require more confirmation and conviction. By this time, by chapter 10, a devotee, if he has paid good attention, he would have known that everything is from Krishna. Everything. I don't know. There are thousands of planets. I can name one by one. Maybe I know 4 or 5. But my mind should be convinced that, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you did this Bhuloka, Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, beyond that, everything is from Krishna only. That's the difference between just a regular person and a devotee, that faith and conviction. So, devotees, any more thoughts? And why Krishna is talking about death?
Yeah, I can say something.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah, we hear a lot about death all the time. So in this, Krishna is talking about because the time we are born, every day we are losing. A clock is ticking. And slowly we are actually, don't like to think of it that way, but we are dying little by little. So, and our time is less. So it's important to realize that uh, because if we know what our constitutional position is and what we are supposed to be, then the time is of the essence. So we need to uh, get into the bhakti and do all the things that we have been talking about, and like this Kartik Masam going on right now, offering the lamp and so on. So all these things are very important. So we need to do that. We need to, do all the rounds and everything, and do that all the time, and develop our, and of course, look at the shastra, read the shastras, and develop our bhakti more and more each day, because time is the clock is ticking. So that's what I want to say.
Haribol Prabhu, nice, yeah. There is nothing more certain than death, right? Even in the modern saying, death and taxes are forever. It is there. It is bound to happen. Death, definitely. Taxes, some countries may not have taxes. That's a different thing. See, when we sing happy birthday to you, of course, we don't really sing happy birthday in that literal sense. We sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But the moment the baby is born, you're only inching toward the death. Day by day. And definitely when you get to the old age, you are even closer to that. But the most intriguing part is that we don't know when. We are not in the luxury. Some people might think, oh, Parikshit Maharaj had only 7 days. What a pity. Actually, we should pity ourselves. We even don't know how long we are going to live. Not on a pessimistic tone, devotees, but really think about it. We really don't know. We don't have a guaranteed 7 days. We do not. Is there a guarantee tomorrow we can be in a Bhagavad Gita class or we'll be able to take prasadam? Is there any guarantee? Unfortunately, not. But we can pray to Krishna. But what we have under our control is that at this moment, when all my indriyas are functioning, my eyes are able to see, I'm able to hear, I'm able to talk. Can I talk, hear, see about Krishna? That much I can control. Beyond that, we really don't know. Devotees, many of us may have heard Walt Disney, right? Very great creator. And this is, I don't know, this is only a rumor. So don't quote me on this. But he was also a little bit eccentric on the scientific side. So he had some friends who were doing research. And somehow he was convinced that within the next 100 to 150 years, science would make a solution to death. Meaning, they can bring back the dead bodies or people will not die at all. So he had told his doctors and family members not to bury him, but to keep his body in a cold storage. There was a big rumor like that at that point of time. And it seemed that they kept that for a few years. Then, on the request of the family members, it was taken out eventually. So the question is that devotees, Krishna is saying Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. Can we really succeed death? What do you think, Baldev Sir Prabhu?
So, Prabhuji, what I can say, recently, I don't know whether you noticed or not, they created life from regular cells, not even sperm and ovum. So, like even a mother is not by birth not able to reproductive stage, so there'll be no ovum. If there's no ovum, how can he or she will have her own son? If there's a problem, they take the ovum and they make the fertilizer outside, a test tube baby. But no ovum producing, so they took the cell of the mother, regular cell, and they created the, and it was successful. So
is it a stem cell, Prabhuji?
no, not stem cell. Not stem cell. Stem cell we use for the treatment, but this is for but stem cell can be used, but they took the skin cell and generate the baby. So Prabhuji, as Krishna says, definitely. There might be something they can do, but ultimately it will dwindle and die. Probably prolong the life. Like as you see, 50 years back, we used to die a lot in the young age. And our longevity was like 40, 50 years. Now people living 100 plus years. So they can extend, but death has to be there. Jatosya dhruvo mrityu, mrityusya dhruvo jarma. Yeah, right. So it has to be there, Prabhuji. But science is going fast. And latest, they found dementia treatment, also they're treating. The not dementia, very rare disease, very like this is a, but it's a brain damaging very fast. So they also by some, I forgot the therapy, they found that people are living longer. It's a very like what to say, very milestone invention. But things are happening, but that will not going to happen. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, yeah, that's a good point, Prabhu. Yeah, they can prolong, no doubt. For example, actually, if you look at in a Shastric viewpoint, the Satya Yuga, it is said that the life was almost like 100,000 years. Then Treta Yuga, like 10,000 years, right? Then Dwapara, 1,000. And then now we have come to 100. So if you see, there is only, it is going down only. And second question is that what is the quality of life also we have to see. We should not compare it with just the immediate 100 years or 200 years, but we have to see if, what was the quality of life. Yeah, we may be living up to 90 or 100, but Prabhu, by the time I'm seeing some very young people at the age of 40, 50, they are almost like, 70, 80, 90 years old. Whereas our parents were much more active, number one. Their lifestyle was definitely much more purer than ours. Their mind was much stronger.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Even World Health Organization says the biggest calamity that is going to happen is only anxiety, depression, and mental issues, not so much of physical. So let us assume even if I live 100 years, 110 years, and I'm going to be, like a depression and a crazy guy, is that even worth it? And eventually there is an expiration, right?
See, you won't be a crazy guy because you are already into the Krishna consciousness, Prabhuji. So I don't think you will get depressed and all that.
No, I'm not.
positive.
I'm not saying just about myself. Generally, I'm saying.
Generally. Oh, okay.
If a person lives even 100 years, at what cost would be? What is the quality of her life? I don't know. This science will have some answers, but as Baldev Prabhuji mentioned, it is only it can prolong a little bit. Right now, even if somebody has got a heart attack, they're not doing anymore so much of bypass surgery. They're putting a lot of stent and other things, even without a surgical process. And that is also being can be done from outside, I believe. Some doctor sitting in India, we are just giving all the instruction, and there is a lot of scientific things are all happening. But eventually, the entire creation, the ingredient, the raw material is from Krishna. Even the cell you mentioned, Prabhu, there is a human being, right? And from that human being, they are taking some cell or some other fluid or whatever it is. And then there is another procreation, or, they're able to generate another life out of that. But the question Srila Prabhupada always used to ask, life comes from life. Can they just pick a pinch of, let's say, mud or sand? Can they create human life out of it? We don't know. We have not seen so far. So I think we should go with full conviction of what Krishna is saying, that there is a death, definitely, and there is a rebirth also. There are many philosophies that they also understand about death, but they say that this is just a one-time deal. I come here, God created me, God has already taken care of all my sins. I come here, God wants me to experience in certain way. I've been born, I take birth in a family. Not that. Shastra gives a much, much deeper explanation. Why a baby, a child, a soul comes in contact with the body. It's not a coincident or a random act. That is what is called karma, right? We have a very scientific process about that. If you don't believe in karma, then why would that God would create so many different situations? One person is always having challenges, physical challenge, financial challenge, mental challenge. The other person, the moment he is born, there is a 401k of $100 million already created. The moment they're born, there is an investment portfolio in their name, $100 billion stock has been created. Why he would do that? Right? It doesn't sound too it doesn't fit into a logic. Of course, God is beyond logic, though. But I think our Shastra's explanation is much more we can relate to that. Yes, there is something called a karma. That is why I have certain type of knowledge, certain type of body, why there are science also agrees that there is 8.4 million of types of species. Shastra also says that. Why would they create that? He wants them to just suffer. Some of them are born and they leave their body within few hours, or maybe some they live. I think it is said that butterfly, their normal lifespan is about 42 days. That's what they live. Within that, they do all the procreation, everything is done within 43 days. Some live much longer. So these are all, still the entire Krishna's creation is a mystic philosophy. We don't know everything about Krishna, but whatever he is letting us know through Bhagavad Gita is quite convincing. It makes a lot of sense, So death, we know, devotees, that death is for certain. This question has been asked in Mahabharata when what is that episode between Yudhishthira and the Yaksha? Okay, the Yaksha would ask about 60 questions to Pandava. Nobody could answer them. They will all drop dead, unconscious. Only Yudhishthira was able to answer that. One of the question is that, Kim Ascharya? Ascharya meaning, what is the most surprising thing in this life? Yudhishthira would say, death is the most surprising. Because we somehow come to know about some death. Either we read in the newspaper, somebody died, 15 people got killed going to the pilgrimage. Oh, okay, oh, sad people. That's it, we forget within 2-3 minutes out of the mind. Somebody dies in some local news you heard, gone out of something more closer to our family. We remember that for a much longer time. But it never really, it gets us that we are going to leave someday. We never act like that. That is because our soul is eternal. So we are kind of in a confused state. Our soul is saying, you are eternal, don't worry. But this body is not going to be there. So it creates certain conflicts and confusion. That's why people all cry. They become very emotional, when somebody leaves, because that particular body is gone. How much philosophy you want to give it to them? They will not be able to accept it. This family member is not there anymore. What are you talking? What philosophy are you doing? Where is he? If he's eternal, show me to him. Even Arjuna, after listening to Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, right now he is listening, but his very dear son Abhimanyu would be killed in the next few days. And Arjuna will not accept it. He would say, Krishna, what is going on? My son, only 16 years old, how can he be killed and you are being with us? I'm not going to accept it. So this is Arjuna, right? So Krishna would also give philosophical response to that. He says, hey, don't look at the age and 16 or 61 doesn't matter. Look at the name that Abhimanyu is going to fetch. His name will be glorified all through the ages to come. All yugas, they will speak about Abhimanyu. So that's a much deeper philosophy, but we cannot really accept certain things, still. Because we are just an aspiring devotees. This devotional path is also not that easy. It's a lot of, there are different methods, different ladders, from Adama, which is the Kanishta platform, to the pure. We may discuss it some other time. Then there are two very major types of bhakti, right? Raganuga Bhakti and Vaidhi Bhakti. We all belong to the Vaidhi Bhakti, meaning we do certain things based on the guidelines given by the scripture. Chant 16 rounds, read Bhagavad Gita, listen to Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all those things. But Raganuga Bhakti is complete spontaneous. We do not belong, whatever acharyas are saying, we don't belong to that category. It's a very high spiritual category. Either Krishna sends them or they have Krishna Kripa specially, because they really don't do things based on guideline. Their heart is filled with love for Krishna. So for them, there is nothing called 16 rounds of chanting. It's eternal chanting in their mind.
Prabhuji, why every devotee has to chant 16 rounds, 64? There's any particular thing for that to chant 16 rounds? Why not I can do it?
Yeah,
Could you please tell me, Prabhuji, in a simple way? I always think when I'm chanting.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow, our Guru Maharaj, all the ISKCON leaders can come up and say, really, you don't have to do Vaidhi Bhakti. Just become Raganuga Bhakti. Just completely surrender. Would we surrender? We'll be very happy. GBC has told, don't chant anymore. Good. I'm not chanting anymore because we are not there. Our mind is still, it's not completely purified. So we have to definitely chant. 16 rounds of chanting is a very practical. We normally active 16 hours in a 24 hours period. So at least one chanting per hour is very reasonable, Is that okay, Mataji? And if we don't chant, we will
Yes,
not
Prabhuji.
remember
Yes.
Krishna.
Mm.
For sure. We will not remember.
Oh, okay. Got
We
it.
will not. Believe me. That is the difference between that Raganuga Bhakti. For Raganuga Bhakti people, you don't have to tell them anything. Don't do anything. For them, enter 24/7 Haridas Thakur. Just, you don't have to tell him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not tell him, you chant 192,000 times. No, he said, you told me to chant, I'll keep on chanting. That's it. Srila Prabhupada used to chant even while he is sleeping. He used to sleep like only 2-3 hours in a night. And even then, devotees have written, his personal assistant, his lips are moving all the time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Nobody told, he need not chant. He's doing so much seva to Krishna already. He can justify for not chanting. But we have to chant, we have to do certain things, devotees, because we are not really reached the purified level. That doesn't mean don't feel discouraged. Whatever we are doing is the best right now, whatever we can do. So devotees, we agreed that we'll read at least 2 verses from Bhagavatam. Are there any final thoughts on the verses, devotees? So it is good that we have to know that there is a death. B is birth, D is death, C is caught in between, that is the consciousness and the choices. Let us make our consciousness and choices for Krishna. Simple. Once if we do that, everything is, our lifespan between the birth and death will be perfect. We would have, done our best to achieve Krishna. So devotees, this is good. All this memory, intelligence, everything comes from Krishna only. Krishna will say this another verse in chapter 15, Mattah smritir jnanam aponaham cha. All this remembrance, the memory, the intelligence, and even the forgetfulness, everything comes from me. What we forget, what we remember is the prayer we have to do. We actually doing the opposite prayer. We want to remember all the bad things. Good things, oh Krishna, I don't want to remember. But that guy insulted me, I remember very distinctly about 5 years ago at one of the, Diwali function, he did not even smile at me. That is in my mind. And I want to keep that. Krishna, please give me memory. I can keep that another 10 years. I want to, otherwise I will forget my emotion, right?
Those kind of things we should forget, no, Prabhuji?
Yeah, but you have to pray. It comes
Yes,
from Krishna.
yes, of course,
You can
of course,
try.
Prabhuji.
You can say, I want to forget, but it won't go away. The best way to remember, they say, is that you try to forget. The moment you try to forget, it keeps on coming back to your mind, right? So, devotees, we have about 5 more minutes. Very quick, if we may. Let's start from Canto 10:1:1. Just the Sanskrit translation. It will be very auspicious. Baldesha Prabhu, you want to?
Yeah, sure. Prabhuji. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.1 Sri Rajovacho Kathito Vamsho Vistaro Bhavata Somo Shuraya Rajanam Chobhyo Vamshanam Choritam Parama Dhruvatam.
Haribol Prabhu.
Translation by
Please,
yeah,
can somebody else read? It is just an opportunity for everybody to read. Mahesh Prabhu, you want to read just the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, translation. King Parikshit said, My dear Lord, you have elaborately described the dynasties of both the moon god and the sun god with the exalted and wonderful character of their kings. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. So, devotees, why not we read the Sanskrit verse translation? Who want to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can read.
Okay, please.
Yadoscha dharmashilasya nitaram muni satama tatram sena vatirnasya vishnur viryani shamshanaha.
Okay, very nice, Mataji. Mataji, are you on a driving a Tesla
I'm home.
autopilot?
I'm home now, Prabhuji.
Okay, yeah.
I can read.
Yeah. Tesla
Yeah.
autopilot is exempt. You can read.
Did you want me to read the synonyms, Prabhuji, or
Why not we
translation?
give chance to some
Yeah, definitely.
who has not read devotees? Who want to read? Subal Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees and Pranam all goes to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. The translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. O best of Munis, you have also described the descendants of Yadus, who were very pious and strictly adherent to religious principles. Now, if you will kindly describe the wonderful, glorious activities of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, who appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladeva, his plenary expansion. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very nice. The devotees, this is a very, very important verse. I think we should read this. If one of us can read, this is from Brahma Samhita. Actually, Canto 10 devotees, as we all know, that's what Parikshit Maharaj has been waiting. He's been so patiently listening to all the 14,000, 15,000 verses for this Canto 10. This is when Krishna is going to appear. So he's asking very enthusiastically. So why not we just read this, devotee? This is a very powerful, very important verse.
I can read.
Please, Prabhu.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam.
Very good, Prabhu. Okay, Baldev Prabhu, you want to conclude by reading the translation?
Sure, Prabhuji. Put a little bit up, please. Okay. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is a supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful, spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Hare Krishna.
Devotees, personally, I think this is the best explanation of who is God. There's nothing, we don't need, if anybody asks who is God, Krishna is the supreme controller. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Among all the creation, he is the Parama, is the supreme. Satchit Ananda Vigraha is made up of, his quality is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Anadi Radhi Govinda, there is no one before him, or he is not second to anyone. He is the prime. Sarva Karana Karanam, very important. He is the supreme cause of all the causes. He is not one of the causes. He is the cause. From him, like Baldesa Prabhu was saying about cell research where another life can be created. But that cell, where did the mother come from? How did the first life come into existence? Who did that? That is Sarva Karana Karanam. And based on that, there can be several Karanas. Science is there. There can be so many experiments. A lot of things are about to happen. We are in a very interesting stage, right? But the original cause is Krishna. Baldesa Prabhu, has science been able to figure out where did the first life come from? No. We are talking about God's particles and so many other things, black hole and, but the question is that if just because of certain chemical reaction, if these things can happen, can the chemicals also create life? And even if it happens, who gave that quality that the chemical life can come from the chemicals? Who created chemicals to begin with? So science is caught in its own definition. There has to be a creator for everything, but who is the creator for this? So devotees, it's 9:01 p.m. Have a wonderful Kartika Mass. We have many, many programs during all these 4 weeks. Every Saturday, Sunday, there are at least 2 programs. Please participate. It is recommended, spend time with the, when you take part in a satsang, devotees, you are taking care of most of the things that need to be done in Kartika Masa. You are in the association of devotees, you are talking about Krishna, you are showing the ghee lamp to Krishna. And you are going to have the wonderful, delicious prasadam. Nothing better than that, right? We are going to hear some good episodes, Leela of Krishna, share our thoughts. So please participate, devotees, as much as you can. Any final thoughts, comment before we conclude? Baldeswar Prabhu, would you like to conclude, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, I just said that 5 many important things: Nam Kirtan, Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Mathura Bash, and what is one of them?
Murti Sevana.
Murti Shravana.
We
So-
are going to,
Yeah, so in the satsang we do everything. So all the 5 ways covered fully. Thank you, Prabhuji. So Bancha Kalpadurvasya Kripa Sindhu Podang Pavane Vaishnava Namo. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very good. Thank you.
Did Dara Mataji had a question or she's giving a thumbs up?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, I was wondering, Baldev Prabhuji, what was the fourth one that you mentioned?
Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathura Bash. To enter, go to the Pichul Dham. Now, if you go to
Oh,
India,
re-
lot of jatra going on under the guidance of different Guru Maharaj.
Oh,
But when you
okay.
go to the devotee's house, there's also jatra.
Listen what they're saying, Venkat.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
our target, our purpose to go somewhere for Krishna darshan. So coming to satsang also jatra.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Dandavat
pranam.